Hey, hi. I wanted to chat about something that's been really powerful for me and for my clients as well. And that is, which is pretty much the basis of everything I talk about, self abandonment and alignment. And so, what I'm noticing is that when we start to turn towards ourselves and really turn towards ourselves, meaning that we are willing to face all of the things that have kept us small, all of the beliefs, all of the limitations that we have adopted in order to grow and evolve and expand into the beings that we truly are. When we start to do that, we can feel less relatable to other people. So, what does that mean? If I start to get to know myself and I start to grow and heal all of these patterns and dive into my shadows and do all of this work, I'm only going to be able to relate truly to people that are also invested into that. And so what ends up happening is that those of us that are truly invested into that, we are pretty protective of our energy, pretty selective, right? We have boundaries, we have discernment, we keep standards, we hold our values and our ethics true to us. And if it's not nourishing to be around other people that aren't doing that, unless of course like we are supporting them through that process, but to like really keep a friend or an intimate partner, it might actually feel unappealing to do the personal work and to get to know ourselves if it means that we don't get to connect with as many people as we used to connect to. It might mean that our entire lives change, things transform. We say yes to ourselves and then things start to fall apart in the external world if we don't have the big picture of what's really happening. Sometimes alignment, most of the time, alignment is not comfortable. So unless we can zoom out and get that bigger picture of what's really happening and understand that as we turn towards ourselves and we're becoming more whole and more true to ourselves, we can have access to actual fulfillment. We can tune into our passions. We can be in our energy, authentic expression, radical authenticity without shame. That's a really powerful thing. It's also very triggering to everyone else that hasn't done that work. So it really comes down to like, will I choose me even when people aren't okay with it, even when it triggers others? Because in the event that we trigger others, we also uplift others. You're always going to do both. You're going to have both. We live in a dualistic realm for now. So I see this really powerful thing coming through where we're getting the opportunity, we're getting presented with the choice of, will I choose myself? Will I lean into my truth all of the time? Keep my integrity. Commit to the growth and the evolution. Even when it means I might feel isolated sometimes, I might feel alone in that until I find other people, other community, soul family, tribe that are also invested into that. Will I hold it? Can I hold it even still? Because I promise it's worth it when we can zoom out and see the big vision, see the big picture of what's really truly occurring. It's just in the small, immediate realm. Our humanness, we want to connect, we want to share, we want to love, be loved, we want relatability, we want to be able to talk about things, come together. And a lot of people are deprived of that right now, don't have access to that. But even deeper than that, there's a collective core wound of, I don't belong. I don't belong here, whether that's in a community, a state, a country, or on the planet. There's a core wound of not belonging because our innate sense of connection is so deep. And since most of us grew up with traumatic circumstances, whether physical or emotional, undesirable ways to be growing developmentally as a human, we have that foundation in our essence, in our personalities, interwoven into our identities, until we consciously go in and start to unravel those. So it might feel like an internal conflict to really start to dive in and to go into these pieces that are foundational and have them reflect of like, wait, I get to know myself more. That means I'm even more isolated, even less relatable. How do I know it's worth it? And so many people choose that it's not. That they would rather compromise their truth, their values. They would rather silence their voice. They would rather cut themselves short. They would rather tolerate and endure circumstances and suffering and abuse and manipulation, because that feels more safe, that feels more comfortable, that feels more convenient, familiar, than going into the unknown and getting into the roots of these shadows. So with that, I'll leave you with the inquiry. Where will I stop being in my truth? Will I stop at nothing to be in my truth? Where is my edge? Where do I feel blocked? Where do I get hung up? I want to hear about it.